Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. First things first, sound check. How do I sound? Give the lag time to catch up. Sound check, please, everybody. Let me get a sound check. Let me get a sound check, please. Need sound check. Put it in the chat room. Do I sound okay? I need some feedback here. Been having a lot of problems. Sounds good? All right. Sounds good. Good deal. Welcome back to the Quantum Show, everybody. Got a whopper of a show tonight talking about society. This is, again, personal blog, personal observations. Hold on, let me adjust this thing right now. It helps when I brighten the screen up. Okay. Hey, Cindy, welcome to the chat, everybody. Sapphire Elf, Raven, Cindy, Dorothy's in here somewhere. Pamela, thank you for coming by the Quantum Show. This is a big whopper of a show. All right, got your text. Just now got your text. But yeah, talking about personal observations. Now we can all make these observations. Before the show started, Elf was talking about the housing market hasn't bounced back since their fires and floods. Okay. And yeah, they're adopting new ideas over there. And the people are doing it, not the government. The government's adopting ideas, but he's a person in the group of people that live there. So what he was talking about, he has a house tent that is off to the side and it's expanding the room. Now, house tents are pretty hardcore, heavy fabric, not a pop-up thing like at a carnival or something, but something meant to last. It does take maintenance, tightening ropes, making sure stakes are in the ground good, but that's a symptom. People wanting to do that is a symptom of something bigger. His case, he said, housing market. Same here. Housing market is doing the same thing here. I'm not going to talk about the housing market too much, but it is in an uproar. Shingoji sold his place. He moved out to the country. Good idea, right? And he got away from the city where the great resets are all going to be happening. Now, I wanted to talk about, it says, okay, Great Reset. What do we got? Project Bluebeam and the Great Resets, plural. Okay, every 100, 120 years, you can look back in historical records if you can find them. And I was on the phone with Raven the other day, and I said, let's Google 1920s things like electric cars, personal scooters, airships, right? Hey, Diane Boss. And we went through just a few examples, okay? Just a couple of examples. Electric cars. Okay, I really need everyone to understand the context of what we're talking about, okay? Right now, electric cars are not very practical because what issues are they having? The batteries, charging stations, maintenance, okay? Those weren't an issue back then. How could they have electric cars in Chicago? Okay, I'm not talking about, everyone knows about the 1910 Porsche, right? It failed not because it was a bad product, but because someone sold them the gasoline engine. You get more torque, you get more all of a sudden, and you can buy the equivalent of a Porsche. It's called a golf cart. They didn't go very fast, but they were there. And but why would we do something like that when we had so much other stuff already? Because the money was too spread out, right? The bigwigs, the elites, weren't making all the money. There was no 1%, okay? And everything was too spread out. Back in the day, you had a lot more agriculture, farming, and there was building materials. Let's look at the architecture from 1920, okay? There's a street right near me where half the street is historically protected because it was built a long time ago. Classic buildings. They have the best architecture, okay? Every corner has some kind of decoration on it. Has, I think there's a couple of gargoyles up and down. It's called Charlotte Avenue, right? Right near White Bridge Road. Not near White Bridge Road, in 46th Avenue. You go up and down Charlotte, you see all these historical buildings. There's this one place, it's a Shriners building. Shriners are the Masons, okay? They're a subset of the Masons. They still are tied to them. And it's no longer a Shriners building for whatever reason, but it's still protected historically. Where did all that stuff go? Where did the idea for all that stuff go? Okay. There was a house here several years ago, more than 10 years ago, that was knocked down because nobody wanted to buy it. Or no, they refused to let people buy it, right? I don't know what it was called, but it used actual stone construction, almost megalithic. It had ironwork. It had leaded glass. By the way, leaded glass is not harmful to people. Okay, lead lead sits there. It doesn't travel. It doesn't blow around. It doesn't get in water supply. It's a heavy metal. Okay, yeah, any heavy metal is bad for you to ingest. But that's part of the um part of the old reset. Believe it or not. Okay, that's part of the old reset. And it had about 100, 120 years ago. It doesn't take, it takes a long time, right? I'd say about 30 years based on historical evidence, what I have looked at. And that's what's going on now. Maui fires. How? Okay. I'm seeing reports of people asking Google, not Google AI, but Google search engine, um, how far can ship-based water cannons fire? Up to 200 feet. Maximum effective range 200 feet. How far is the coast to Maui, uh, to the shipyards? Oh, it's not very far at all. A few steps. Why not use them? Why were there roadblocks? Why were the fire hydrants turned off? It was intentional. It was burnt down because let me tell you something about insurance. I know all y'all grown-ups out there know this. When you have fire, that is an insurance claim. And insurance pays out for fire pending a good investigation. Well, it's a microcosm. Hawaii is a microcosm, okay? It is a tiny little area. It's big cities, yes, sure, but it's not the greater United States, right? It's a small place. It's a chain of islands. Maui is part of this current reset. They're trying to reset us, okay? Why are they trying to reset us? Because we're remembering. I can go over so much, and I will touch on quite a few of them, okay? I'm not really reading the chat because I need to get this out, right? I need to get this out. And oh, hey, Joe, thanks for coming by the chat room. Hope to have you in the panel later, but if you're not up to it, I understand. If you're not up to it, I understand. But I wanted to go over a few of these things, great reset things, and things that we're waking up to. Okay, now I talk about Josh Phil or It's not aliens, it's us. Ancient history, ancient humans, right? Jared Phillips, Terra Preta. His theory is it's kind of like a computer. Reality here on Earth is kind of like a computer. They didn't have enough people. So what? Okay, now this can go hand in hand with some stuff that Microsoft, Bill Gates is doing, right? There weren't enough people. Adestic, and the more people you have, the more operating RAM you have, as in a computer. The more RAM, the more things work, the easier things work, right? Hey, Dorothy. And the answer is 42. Don't forget your towel. Okay. The more things work, the more people we have, the bigger the hive mind we have, the more we start to remember Terra Preta. Okay, lots of people are starting to talk about Atlantis, and I'm getting some really weird feedback about. I told you about the Mercury. I'm getting really weird feedback about the Mercury. I'm starting again on the Mercury. I figured some stuff out. I'll get back to that later. So, Jared came up with it's not aliens, it's us. It's worse, it's us, because we're starting to wake up. We're starting to figure out all these things. I personally looking at ancient India. Why aren't people in India doing this? I don't know. Their economy is so weird. Okay, they have a successful space program. By the way, Chandra 3 is successor to Chandra 1 and 2 that did not make it. They still have a rover on the moon that did not make it past the landing. It landed hard. And I'm really hoping they go take their Chandra 3 rover, go over there and wake it up, get it going again, because it's solar powered and everything, just like what we do, right? But we're waking up. India, ancient India has all that stuff, okay? We still don't know how to do that. No one here knows how to do that, especially in the time frame it is said to have happened in. Cambodia has one. Cambodia has a temple that apparently was carved in a week, if memory serves. Angkor Wat, that's what I'm talking about. It was, Bob, you're not blocked. You're not blocked. Bob Perkins, you're not blocked. You are good. I can see your chat. You're not blocked. Okay. Or you're blocked and you're part of the reset. What are you doing, Bob? Are you trying to reset us? Trying to reset society? Don't try to reset society, Bob. We're working on it. We're bringing it up, right? You're coming. Okay, Bob, you're coming through on StreamYard. You're coming through on YouTube. You're not blocked. Check your connection. Check your phone app. Okay, all these things are starting to realize. And look at social media. I'm getting a lot of pointers and go look here's from things like TikTok. I sideways look at TikTok by looking at Instagram reels. Hey, Monty. And I look at it and then I do my own research. Okay. A lot of people are seeing, let's look at Egypt. Everybody knows about Egypt. Okay. Not everybody knows about ancient India and that stuff, but everybody has heard about Egypt because it's been such a big topic for hundreds of years. Literally hundreds. So the stuff in Egypt, there are private channels starting to look at Egypt and go, this was not a tomb, this was a chemical factory, and that wasn't even its primary thing. Its primary thing was energy. Energy. It's like a two-way radio, but from our reality pocket here to somewhere else up there. It was crazy, okay? Because we're so not used to it. We have forgotten the science of mind, the ability to manifest, okay? The people I know, okay? We the people I hang out with, I call myself pagan, I call myself mystical, right? What we do, we manifest things, and we do it now. A lot of us do it by habit. We don't even have to think about it. We have to. We have a little method of thinking. It's almost like a meditation, and it's personal, and you never know we're doing it. Where I hope I don't get a flat tire, or I hope I do get a flat tire, and it happens. We do these things, tiny little ones all the time, and not everybody knows how to do that. And the majority of people have forgotten we can all do this. That is the kind of science of mind I'm talking about that society has forgotten. Okay, who has been here through the Great Resets, right? The Vatican, possibly the Smithsonian, okay? But the Vatican and the Smithsonian, who's allowed to go there? Hardly anybody is allowed to go to the Vatican and the Smithsonian. So how do we know what's in there? Same thing goes for Fort Knox, right? It's supposed to be the largest gold reserve in the world. Has anyone inspected lately? Who's allowed to go to Fort Knox? Who inspects it? Who verifies the inspector? Who verifies the reports? Okay, what makes Fort Knox special now? Well, same thing with the Vatican. Just because the priest and the Pope says the Vatican is fine, leave it alone, we're going to do it. What about Smithsonian? Oh, Smithsonian. They have concentrated so hard on erasing most of our history. Giants. North America has had giants forever. They're gone now. Else we'd be going and talking to them, right? Right. Dorothy, you're saying it perfectly, right? Where do these experiences of imagination, where does imagination come from? Okay, I'm trying to highlight that comment. Where does it come from? We have a group mind. I don't mean group think. I mean, we have a hive mind where we're all connected in some form of energy field. Our Keith calls it 0 point. I call it quantum link, which is the same thing, right? There are lots of competing ideas about Sapphire. I'm looking at you. Why does everything need to be controlled, right? Trying to highlight this damn phone, I swear. Why does everything need to be controlled? What if life and consciousness is universal and we're just here to observe things that exist? Bingo. Bingo, right there. And yeah. All right. I'm getting so spun off. Okay. But Great Reset. We've been reset. Let me talk about that for a minute. Where are the airships that we had? Look up airships 1920, 1920s, right? Look, they filled the sky. Before FAA, that's Federal Aviation Administration, that's federal, right? Before FAA, we had something called NACA, NACA. It became NASA. I'm going to look it up now to get the exact acronym. Okay. NACA. Oh my God. No, it's okay. NACA, come on. Because NASA was founded in 1958. It's okay. NACA, National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. It became NASA. The organization was already there. It became NASA. What were they doing? What were they doing? Airships and airplanes, right? Wait, airships? What's that about airships? Yeah, we only hear about things like the Hindenburg and the Goodyear blimp. That was a main mode of transportation, and it was a good one. It worked, right? Then a reset happened in the form of World War One and World War Two. World War One and World War Two. Okay, that was a great reset. Look at silent movies before World War Two. The world was a totally different place. Raven, you and I talked about this the other day. And okay, I go back. Electric cars, right? We had them. We had them. We had electric cars. Not only Porsche, there were independent car companies. Can you imagine a world, a United States, with more than just GM and Ford? It's hard to imagine, but there were so many. The Edsel. Why did the Edsel fail? It was sabotaged by the big companies, Ford, GM. They sabotaged them, right? There were so many. There was an electric car company in Florida in the 1970s. Where'd they go? Their cars are vintage, classic, because they didn't work very well. They were trying to use, here's the problem, they're trying to use current thinking methods to old technology. What did they do in the 20s? We had them all over. What were they doing in the 20s? That's Great Reset. That's part of the Great Reset. Okay. And okay, I know I'm bouncing all over the place. That's just, I've had coffee. I've got coffee. Me and Amy got coffee. So I tried to whip up a little script for tonight. It didn't work very well because it's so much, right? It's so much. Egypt, things are being remembered. Social media, we're able to look at Egypt closer because so many people are going there. Brian Forster, he's one. There's so many people going there. Not Hawass. Okay, Hawass wants Egypt for Egyptians only. He doesn't like the world being in there. And I bet the time's coming where Zahi Hawass is going to admit, oh yeah, this was all propaganda because of nationalist thought. He was being a patriot. I recognized that years ago. I recognized he was being a patriot. He was furthering his country's interests, not the world interests. So, Monty says, oh, times, let me see here. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat room, right? Okay. Derek, hey, Derek. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry about that. And, all right, talk to you soon, Elf. Yeah, engine, right. Mercedes-Benz came up with it, and that was pre-World War One, because we had internal combustion engines on airplanes in World War One. And okay, going back, more people are able to look at Egypt. More people are able to look at India through social media. People have these phones. No, they're not great, but they're enough to take stills, say, I'm in India. Like, they take and look and have a statue that we cannot reproduce in the background. They have buildings and things that we cannot reproduce in the background. Links are in the description for a lot of the stuff that I talk about down here. Now, Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam was said to have begun around the end of World War II as a way to have a false flag alien invasion, fake an alien attack on humanity, and scare people enough into compliance with total control. Okay, why would anyone want total control? Why? What does that do for you? Let's say one person I would like to know who the actual richest man in the world is, the one that owns the most stuff. What is he doing every day? Is he saying, Disney, I want a new show, make it happen, or I'll murder everyone? What is he doing? For real, what kind of control? What does control actually grant you? The freedom to do what? Be boring? Okay, anyway, that was a little rant, right? And it comes from my Whovian love, okay? Um, but what Maui? What am I talking about? What the hell am I talking? I'm hot. It's hot in here. And I'm drinking. Well, it's lukewarm now, but it's hot in here, so it's hot too. Mm. So, Project Bluebeam. All right. The fake alien invasion, in order to shake everybody up, get everybody scared, to have complete control. Martial law. I would like to know what's the point to that. Okay. It's not a simple answer. What's the point to that? Do they know something? Why is that important? Why is complete total control, guided development, why is that important? No one's asking that question. They're worried about what's in their face. They're being shook up. They're being scared. And they're worried about what's scaring them now, in the moment, now. But what's the point of total control, total development, right? How do they want to do it? How are they wanting to develop us? This show is going to get so banned on YouTube. COVID vaccines, they changed our DNA by using RNA. And the official, I looked it up. Do COVID vaccines change our DNA? Google. Well, I looked it up. It said, no, COVID vaccines do not change your DNA. They modify your RNA. That's DNA. It's part of DNA in order to fight the COVID virus, COVID-19 virus. Hey, Crafty Gamer. Okay, that is DNA manipulation. But here's the thing about DNA manipulation. It's why it took 30 years to finally map out the Y chromosome, right? Because it's not like a circuit board. You can't trace what's going to happen in predetermined known activity, right? It's chemical switches. And that you're going to have to look it up. It's part of higher learning, how we have learned to look at our DNA chemical switches, okay? A lot of it is reactive, but they don't know what's going to happen. So for the next 20 years, this is going to be the FDA's test. What's going to happen in those vaccines, the long-term results, 20 years. They give it 20 years. Well, we're going to see what happens in 20 years, right? We're going to see what happens in 20 years with these vaccines because they did alter our DNA. To what end? I would like to know to what end. Why is that important? Why can't we let it go? Okay. I know the industry has a lot to do with us because we are investments. And that is how the dark side money, rampant capitalism, that's how that works. I saw a meme video the other day, and it was a girl playing both parts, right? She goes, so what do you got? She goes, and says, well, I got whatever you need. I got insulin, I got this and that, and they were all medicines. She goes, wait, insulin? What about cocaine or acid? Oh, I don't got none of that. See ya. And started to walk away. But wait, oh, I asked my friend to find me a good drug dealer. She found me a good drug dealer. And says, yeah, I sneak them across from Canada. It's $5 and I charge 10. She goes, well, they're $200 here. Don't you want? Hey, yo, it's not the right thing to do. Oh, I'll take 2. Right? corporate medicine. Oh, I've got some blood pressure medicine up here. They told me to take half a tablet. I said, these tablets are tiny. It's like cutting a dot. How am I supposed to cut these? They gave me bigger ones later. They gave me a tablet cutter, but seriously, it was hard. They were hard. They were literally 3 millimeter tablets. 3 millimeters. Okay, that's a headphone jack diameter. And I'm like, how am I supposed to cut this? My X-Acto knife is not up to it. And they said that they told me because that's what the manufacturer makes, but we're not authorized to give you enough. So we're giving you what we can and telling people to cut them in half. I'm like, that's capitalist medicine, right? He goes, yeah, that's capitalist medicine. I'm like, oh, I'm VA. Why is that an issue? Okay. And hey, Jeanette, I saw you earlier. A while ago, I saw you earlier. Thanks for coming in. And I think I saw you earlier. Maybe I was talking to you on Facebook. I don't know. So, but why an industry has a lot to do with this because they can't make the money, right? The idea that they're taught greed is good. That's what they're taught teaching. Okay. Let me tell you, anything I do, I'm not doing it for greed. I'm doing it to spread happiness. I want people to be happy because happy people are better at being themselves and we are magical. So, okay, Great Reset. And how is Maui a part of it? Maui was targeted. And I believe they're talking about making most of Maui, a smart city. And they burned it down. Now, there is another rumor saying that Kelowna got burnt down. Kelowna did not get burnt down. Okay? Yet, Canada wildfires, by the way, started by an asteroid. Look it up. Kelowna is marked to be a smart city. Not all Kelowna. Kelowna is a big city. It's big. It's not big like if you think of Nashville, okay? Nashville, people think of Nashville, they think of the big buildings downtown. Nashville's big. Houston, look at Houston. Yeah, they get their big businesses in the middle of Houston, but it's a huge city, okay? Dallas has two parts. Dallas, Fort Worth, right? It's one big place. So Kelowna did not burn down. I was on R. Keith Andrews' chat room. I was in there just a little while ago from tonight. He's not burnt out. He's still there. Maybe part of Kelowna is going to be a smart city, not all of it. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's being leaked by the people who want you to turn a blind eye and not know what's going on. Okay. But they're resetting us. We're in the middle of it. We're either in the middle of it or we're at the beginning of it. Okay? We're being reset right now. Get ready. And disclaimer, I'm not going to lock down. I'm not going to participate if they do that shit to us again in September. Okay? I'm not going to participate. I'm going to start doing my thing, building flying cars and shit. Okay? Forget it. I'm out. Oh, I can't buy gasoline? No problem. Got Mercury. It don't run out. Okay? But I'm that disclaimer, the quantum show will be staying quantum, staying active, and I'm this close to leaving society as it is. Okay? So if you exclude me from your society, I'm not coming back. Okay? To the powers that be, to the elites. Oh, what's that I hear? Well, we don't need you. We have the rest of society. Okay, see ya. Right? But I'm not going to participate in those activities coming up. Okay, that's out there, right? Bookmark, 34 minutes. Quantum Show guy said he's not gonna do what everybody else does. Why? I ain't gonna be everybody else. Where am I at? Yeah. Okay, wrong tablet. So, yeah, we're in the middle or the beginning of another great reset. And watch, they're going to come up with all these ideas for electric cars. They're already out there. A lot of them are already out there. There are lots of, but they all have the same fault. The lithium batteries. It's not fixing anything, okay? If you ship lithium is a stone, by the way. If you ship tons and tons of lithium where you weren't shipping it before, there's your fuel. There's your fuel cost, either in diesel for trains or coal for electric trains. That's fuel cost. It's a big scam to get us. I swear, it's like we're somebody's coming to inspect us, and they're trying to get us all on the same page with the vaccine, with the cars, with all this stuff. Isn't Germany set in 2025 to have all electric cars being produced? Isn't that true? I think that was true. I have to look that back up. And so they're trying to get us all on the same page as if we're being inspected. You know, like the old joke, Jesus is coming, look busy. You know, what? Who's coming to inspect? And I ran, last night. Oh, I was supposed to go to a Comic-Con today with paranormal section. I didn't get to go. I work nights and it started during my normal sleep time, so I didn't get to go. That's okay. It was a small fair in this little local town. I didn't get to go. But last night, I was able to go to the American Legion post that I go to, and I met a guy there, started talking to him, and he is really into AI. He is a developer for AI. I'm like, oh, he's a veteran. I'm like, oh, dude, great to meet you. I don't have much experience, but we get to talking, right? And I told him, hey, man, as a disclaimer, you're going to hear me talk and you're going to go, oh my God, this guy's such a noob. I don't code, right? I tried coding. I'm not good at it. But he was talking about AI and how he's not scared of AI either. I'm not scared of AI because as long as AI is based on computers that run on electricity, they have a master off switch. Okay. We don't have a master off switch. You know what? Let's compare humanity to AI right now as it's done. They are fully reliant on electricity. Okay. And there is no sustainable source yet where they can do the least work, get the most electricity. What are we relying on? Food and water, shelter. What have we done in the past? What are they doing right now? Tents. Okay. That's shelter, food and water. We can hunt and gather. It's literally what we grew up doing, right? The cities are going to be the hardest hit because that's where the most people are, and they're the most reliant on outside sources. Places like where I live, I can go down the road and get a, a big bowl of tomatoes, potatoes, you name the vegetable, okay? I can get it. Just show up, right? Say, just show up, bring whiskey or something. Bring a present. Say, hey man, how you doing? Well, maybe not at 9:30 at night, but I can go right down the road. Farmers are all over. Farmers are all over this town. I can go and go to a farmer and say, I'd like to buy that pig and have it butchered for the next day. $200. Okay. And that's a lot of meat. All right. That is a lot of meat. And they don't skimp around here. They don't say, oh, well, he don't want that. He don't want, no, they give you a whole thing, right? The farmer will go to the butcher shop, and that is the way we're looking at having to do, not go to the store where all that stuff is taken care of for you. And look how well that's worked out, right? Hormones in the meat, all the stuff that we can't control, we don't understand. We can read it, but you need to have the education, the health education of what the chemicals do, what they do when they interact. We don't know that stuff. We're being led to say, to think that everything that we're doing, that they're doing for us, is good for us. Not true. Okay, not true at all. I will cite corn syrup. What? What? Why does the United States have such a high diabetes rate? Okay, diabetes and heart disease is based on food, and it's based on chemicals in the food. Okay, we've been. It started out as wild, unchecked capitalism, and now it's going to directed evolution to control. What is the point? I would like to, any elites, if you know an elite, point them to this 41 minutes. Hey, elites, what's the point? What do you want to control so strictly? What is the end of that? What is the end goal of controlling everything so exactly? What is the point? Are you a psychopath? Are you just wanting are you just such a control freak that you can't not see it? Or go to, I invite all the elites that want that, go to Texas, start a cult. They do it all the time. Have fun in Texas, start a cult, build a wall. Build a wall in Texas. Yeah, not the wall, but your wall. Build your wall. Go start your cult down there. Do what they're doing in Saudi Arabia with the Edge City, right? Build one of them. You're a billionaire. You're a quintillionaire. Go for it. Nobody's going to stop you. Texas will welcome you. And go for it. Go for it. And do all the bad, nasty, mean shit you want to do to get it going, to have the perfect society, okay? We don't want you doing that to us. And we're not going to stand for it, okay? We're not going to stand for it. Make public policy. Try to make me do stuff. Not going to happen. Everyone in this chat room, in these comments, they're not going to let that shit happen to them, okay? You will have all the karma directed at you if you do that. All you elites. Oh, well, you don't know how the world works. Please explain it to me. Make a video. Go ahead. Make a video, right? Bigelow, where you at? Talk to me. What are you hunting for in the Atlantic? What are you doing down in Florida? I'm not going to read your stupid fake press releases, okay? Elon Musk, what the hell do you think you're doing, dude? Sorry. I'm not anti-elite, the show, but we're not going to stand for all this garbage being put on us. I got a vaccine for you. It's hidden. I got a hidden vaccine for you right there. Read between the lines. Sorry. I've been thinking about this for a few days now. Partially in some frustration I'm going through with the Mercury Project and this woman I know. It's over. It's done, right? And if you're watching, see, I have a lot going on that I haven't told you. I gave you the dazzle. You're out. I'm out. We're out. So, anyway, sorry. Just wanted to throw that out there, right? Just in case she's watching. I don't think she is, but just in case. We're in the middle of that reset. They're trying to the smart cities are literally part one. Establish. What do you do when you move out? You find a place to live. They're moving us out. They're finding that place to live. Oh, it's already there. What do you know? And Maui is one of them. I do believe it was controlled. I don't know about direct energy weapons, but you know what? No one is wanting to think about this one point that I've been saying forever. James Webb is a Death Star. James Webb Telescope is a Death Star. Who's auditing James Webb? Okay. Can I look at the reports? Can I read what's going on with James Webb? All right. It's infrared. You don't see infrared with your eyes. All right, you don't see it. Cameras can see it. People came up with footage of what looked to be a laser beam hitting in Hawaii. Cameras can see infrared. Digital cameras can see infrared. Look, let me give you a small example, okay? All right, iPhone. Now, I'm going to turn the camera on here. Okay? Now, I'm going to remote control. It uses an infrared LED. I'm going to hit 0. Oh, I don't even need that. I can. Okay? Why are we? I don't see that with my eyes. Take any remote control you got. Do that. You won't see nothing. That's the power button. I don't need the iPhone for this. That's infrared. Okay? You're seeing that? My digital camera here is seeing a blinking light. That's infrared. Okay? I can't see it. Take any remote that you have with a little thing in the front. That's the spectrum of light James Webb is using to look at the universe, and it's good. However, from a technical point of view, it's 1 million miles away from the Earth. That is farther than the moon, I think. Let's look it up. Okay, it is definitely farther than the moon. The moon is 238,000 miles away. 1 million miles out, you got James Webb. It uses infrared reflection to see out there, right? It sees infrared. Well, with any optical device that is using reflection, refraction, as in, as out, you can put out. It's a reflector. It can reflect the sun onto pinpoint things. Why hasn't there been any reports of looking at the moon? How about Earth? How about Florida? I think we are. And they're using it to reflect. And no one's going to believe that something as beneficial and cool and scientifically moving forward, right, as James Webb is being used as a weapon. How? How would it be used as a weapon? I just answered that. Dingus, why don't you listen? It's a reflector, okay? I don't have a mirror handy. It's a reflector. In movies, when people are stranded in islands and woods, they use a mirror to signal because nothing else does that, right? It's not going to glint off a waterfall directly in the eyes of a pilot 5,000 feet up in the air, okay? And it's a reflector. Now, a mirror that we have reflects visible light. It reflects infrared light, aka heat, aka our sun, okay? The atmosphere here filters out most of the sun, all the sun's emission light, but not on James Webb. It takes it all in. It has filters of its own to when we want to look at it like out there, but it's being used. I mean, Dr. Evil is sitting on the little joystick controlling James Webb. And I believe it was used in Maui. Their phones caught a giant laser beam coming from the sky, hitting Maui at an angle. I would like to know what the angle was based on that video, those photos. What was the angle, and where is James Webb compared to that angle, right? Sapphire, no, it's not a radio telescope. The radio telescopes are on Earth. It is an infrared telescope. The giant golden mirrors, those reflect infrared. Hey, Keith. Okay, I'm looking. There's a conversation going on. Elfin race is not extraterrestrial. Okay, but we're in the Great Reset. Project Bluebeam. Let me go ahead. We're in the last 10 minutes, right? Project Bluebeam to fake an alien attack on Earth in order to shake us up, to scare us. This has all been shake up. The alien thing is the very last thing. And that's, I believe, why they've been talking about the Tic Tac, the Go Fast, and the Gimbal, right? To get us ready to have that. And all the biggest movies are all about alien invasion. None of them are about getting along with aliens. They should be about getting along with aliens. I like aliens. I like people not from Earth. By the way, everyone not from Earth, I should have said this at the beginning of the show. Welcome to the Quantum Show. You're coming in at the very end. If you're coming in, hit like and subscribe. If you need a computer, I got one. Tell me where to email it to you. If you get a computer, if you need to get a computer, we'll go to the thrift shop together. Just let me know. We'll get you a computer. I got a laptop in there you can have right now. And that's for off-worlders. Don't come asking me for laptops on the Quantum Show. Earthers, I might have one. Forget it. Quantum Show is not doing a computer giveaway. Leave it to Dell for their garbage, right? But, okay, we have seen examples. The Las Vegas incident, I think the kids and the family did see something. I think they were being faked out too. And they were being tricked. Aliens riding tractors, Peru. That has been found to be some classic Scooby-Doo tactics. They were scaring the locals so they wouldn't see their gold mining operation, because the government is heavily involved in gold mines down there. And they want to have like a big chunk and control of the projects and tax them. And oh, wait, there's money again. South America is in bad shape when it comes to money. Okay. So, but Peru was fake. I now think that Las Vegas was faked, but it wasn't the people putting it on. They were seeing something. They just didn't know what they were seeing. They were reporting the best they could. 7-foot aliens, right? There are 7-foot aliens, but they weren't there they weren't in Las Vegas. They were faked out. I believe that was definitely Project Bluebeam using holographic technology or mental implants or something. The frequencies that we think on. Here's something the kid reported, and this really is telling me something. That they went in the house and they started praying together. Then they heard screams. A lot of people were saying the prayers were hurting the people in the back. They weren't hurting them. They weren't hurting. What I suggest was going on was they were they were causing interference on the frequencies they were using in the backyard. The humans were being bad signal generators to block what was being said by the people in the backyard, the 7-foot aliens. So they had to use vocals. It came across as screaming, but what was it really? Nobody got an audio recording, a clear any audio recording. So, and then Peru, but how did that make the mainstream? Well, ufology did that. Okay, I had more to talk about tonight, but that's okay. Maybe next week, or maybe in panel. But I did cover the main topics that I wanted to cover was Project Bluebeam, and all of us are being shaken up. Okay. Maui wildfires, James Webb. I'm gonna Quantum Show is not going to get in trouble because we exist on multiplanes, right? If YouTube goes away, goes away. But I don't think it's gonna, because I have all of 800 viewers. That's okay. And I'm happy with those 800 viewers. Oh, Shingoji just texted me, but can't look at the text right now, man. I have to wait until episode, because if I look, it'll kill the show, and I don't want to do that. I'm at the very tail end. And he's texting me again. I have to hold up. And yeah, I think this was good, right? Where am I at? Where's my tablet? But we have had electric cars in the past. We have had personal scooters and everything in the past. Jetpacks had them in the past. Public transportation on airships had it in the past. All these sciences that we've forgotten, free energy, all the spires. Look at 1920s buildings. They're leftovers because they have changed the system. We don't need those anymore, so they get rid of them. The mindset of that is, look in an old house where it has a high turnover rate for ownership renting. Look in the house. Look for all the cable drops for cable TV and satellite internet. We lived in a house one time. The bundle of cables was this big around. A small coffee can around. It was snaking all. I was like, what is that all about? Those are all the cable drops that people did, and they just kept adding more. But they didn't pull the older one. That's what's going on here. You can see in those vintage pictures of 1920s cities, all the spires. Look on cathedrals, things with bell towers. Okay, look at all these spires. Why are they there? It wasn't aesthetic. It's hard to do that. It's hard to make that happen. And well, thank you, R. Keith. And thanks, everybody. Okay, I'm not quite ready to end it. So I'm just looking at, I'm wrapping it up, points. I do believe James Webb has been taken over a couple times. And it's not safe. It's a Death Star. It was used on Maui. That's why some cameras caught it, but most didn't. Well, most people weren't looking for it, but people caught it. I'm going to have to stop talking about that because I need more information about who caught what. But they did get caught. Okay, they are on film. Lasers coming down at an angle, hitting something. A lot of people say that is camera glare. That is lens flare. I'm not so sure. Okay, and it caused fires. And what's this about blue not catching on fire? Lasers are tunable. Lasers are frequencies of light, just like we have frequencies of radio. You're not going to listen to 100 FM and listen to 90 FM at the same time. You're going to tune it, right? Lasers are just as tunable. It's just a different part of the EM spectrum. I've got a light here, an infrared light, that only works with a certain spectrum of light. So you can take one camera and it will see it. Another camera, it won't see it because it's outside that spectrum of infrared. Blue, right, Raven, blue. Why did blue not burn? It got warm. Well, but it didn't immediately catch on fire. Why? Tuned lasers. And it was being tuned. Now, it might not have been James Webb doing it, but if we got one up there, we got lots of little ones up there. Okay? We do have tons of satellites in space. We see them, I'm not going to say all the time, but lots of time. We can go out, star watch, sky watch, and you'll see a fireball. That's probably one of our things in orbit, falling out of orbit that nobody wants to pay for anymore. It takes money to run them things, okay? And this is part of a reset. You heard it here on the Quantum Show, because we here got a leg up on all this cool information of concerning reality. By the way, I forgot to mention, hit like and subscribe if you hear your quantum. Proxy quantum is still quantum. Okay. I am going to wrap it up. That's first hour. I think I covered everything. I was all over the place. Coffee. It's been lots of coffee, lots of material, and I'm getting over some stuff from that woman. You know who you are. And I know I'm scary, right? Okay. See you on the panel. I'll be announcing it. I'm setting it up. I'll set it up in just a few minutes. It's break time. Me and Amy need more coffee. We need more coffee. So thanks, everybody. Keep it quantum, and see you on the panel in just a little while. Wait for an announcement of the new show. Out of here. Thank you, Jeanette. Out of here. Bye-bye. Keeping it quantum. Now, pushing buttons.